Hello everyone, here live from Zurich, Switzerland on this beautiful day. I have a friend of mine here arriving in Switzerland directly from Bangkok, and it's Peter. Peter Stone has something to share about 3 words that matter, and we do some tests because we recorded 2 phones live on Facebook and the other one recording here directly for an editing later on. And yeah, we will see what's going on and how it works, and let's go over to Peter.
Hello everyone, this is Peter Stone and we're live here in Zurich, Switzerland. And this is my first visit with Beyond Brost in Zurich, Switzerland. So I was en route leaving Bangkok, and part of the way that I do the things I do in life for efficiency, for productivity, is I always look for ways to level it up. So when I'm doing one thing, and it's not about multitasking, I call this paralleling the opportunity, if you will. So I'm flying all the way from Bangkok, Thailand to Boston, Massachusetts. And it's quite a long haul, even with a stop. I mean, and the shortest route is maybe 21 hours, a little less than 21, and it's a little bit taxing at times. And I just went to Thailand 2 weeks ago to see my family and take a break from business, and I had a blast. I get to ride the bike, do some swimming, spend time with wife, daughter, had a great time. So I had to return, and I did this return ticket from a Bo Eason event in Los Angeles. Actually, it was in Santa Barbara. So I made my flight to Thailand, back to Zurich, and there it stopped, rather than going all the way to Boston, because I knew an opportunity would show up somehow. And then when I looked at the ticket several weeks ago, I was going to fly through Iceland, pick up another country, because I'm shooting for 100 countries before the end of November, visiting around the world. And so far, I'm at 95. I'd like to say that. And the world's a great place. People are wonderful. So I got to Zurich, and Brost and I, Bjorn Brost and I, got doing our videos and setting up a pre-launch for the 3 words. So getting back to the trip to Iceland, wanting to stop there and pick up another country, the price doubled. And then the price of the ticket just going one way to Boston went through the roof all of a sudden, as costs do. So I said, well, how can I make an adventure out of this? And I looked a little further, and I always wanted to go to Macedonia and to Kosovo and Albania and some places like that were magical, and there was a mystique there, and I wanted to see what was going on. So that's where I'm going this afternoon. After 3 days in beautiful Switzerland with summer-like weather. So we have been working on the 3-word project intensely. And what is the 3-word project, actually? Well, my business is generally fine sterling silver jewelry, or gold jewelry, or platinum. My main focus is sterling silver. It's really flexible, malleable, shiny, affordable for most people. The gold is a step up. We like gold, but not everybody has that cash in the pocket to drop $2,000 or $3,000 for a beautiful bracelet. So I've been attending events and really going full on because I have to reinvent my business, the jewelry business. It's like a lot of us out there. We've got to figure out new strategies, new ways, fresh ideas, and I love it because things weren't going smoothly. Like what used to work no longer worked the way it used to. I even got in my car and I drove from Orlando, Florida, all the way up to Stone Harbor, New Jersey, stopping in every single store that I could stop in a 2-week period, investigating, speaking with my clients and customers for the last 15 years, and going to new stores and businesses that I've never been to. And I did research face to face, one-on-one. And I got real input from the store owner, real input from the web online store person. It was pressing, it was trying, 2 weeks driving, and I stayed up until 10, 11 o'clock at night. Fortunately, along the trip, I got to go to Edgar Cayce's Center in Virginia Beach, which is very much a niche of one of my lines here at Peter Stone. Metaphysical, energetic, new age, spiritual, healing jewelry is one of our major lines, and some people don't know that. So I've been doing symbols that matter since I started making jewelry. I never really cared for shiny bits of metal with beautiful diamonds, shiny bits of metal with gemstones. They're nice shapes and they're beautiful. But that's not what I saw in jewelry. What I saw in jewelry, well, I'll just tell you a little story. So I was in Bangkok when I was first struggling to start my business. One person came from Australia in Perth. Another person came from Dublin, whom my wife knew in the jewelry business that she worked in before in Thailand. And this was in 1993. They each gave me a Celtic ring. One from Perth, Australia, was a narrower ring. Its item number, by the way, TR33, I have it memorized because this story is interesting. It's fascinating. The other item number from Dublin, the other side of the planet, probably exactly, but I never looked at the homework on that, is a wider band, maybe a more masculine, larger band, and it's number TR42. So I took them. Why did they give them to me? Because they were their best sellers, and they wanted me to improve on the quality that they were getting over the years, because they knew when I did something, I did it right, and I really looked at it and brought the best out of it with the team I had. Now, understanding that, I said, okay, I'm in America. Do you mind if I sell these 2 pieces of jewelry you gave me? They said, absolutely not, Peter, but don't sell it in Ireland and don't sell it in Australia. I said, great. These 2 guys were very good friends who knew each other for many years. And so they were meeting up in Bangkok, which people do. It's a fun place. The food is great. The people are stunning. And the wonderful, I have no words for this king of Thailand that just passed. 70 years of reign was for the people, about the people. A man with heart who sat shoulder to shoulder to the people, not high on the palace, looking down. He was out with the people, and that I respect. And that leadership is what makes Thailand so desirable and why people want to go there. The people are full of joy, happiness, and love, and smiling. They're beautiful. And the king, who just was cremated last week, fortunately, the 2 weeks I went there, the first week, the rainy season ended upon the cremation of the king. The new clean, clear winter weather, dry season showed up dramatically in that 2-week period. The celebration was stunning. I saw it on television. Millions of Thais came there. They loved it. It was amazing. So these two men who were in Bangkok visiting my company gave me these two rings. I researched. After I put those rings in my collection, 5 years later, those two rings sold double of any other wide band ring. They were wide band and they had this knotwork. And I didn't know what it was. It was Celtic knotwork. So I did some research and I looked into the Anglo-Saxon Empire here in Europe. And all across Europe were Celts for 1,000 years. And I realized that this knotwork is about us. All intertwined, our lives, our energy is always. We need each other. We work with each other. We support each other. We make the world with each other. And we must help and support one another, not fight and argue. So the line of jewelry grew and grew and grew, and not to be the biggest in the world is not my goal, but because of my creativity that I just got so engaged in the creation of this depth and richness of how life was so intertwined. It's taken me all around the world. I lived in England because of it. I met a person who is the top Celtic artist in England, Courtney Davis, and we put a gallery together in England. And I took my family there and we moved there. When did we move there? When the exchange rate was 2-to-1. And we capitalized on foreign exchange and everything. I put £1 in the bank. I got $2 out of the bank in the United States. But when I was in the United States and I put $1 in the bank, I only got $1 in the bank out. So I said, hey, I think we're on to something, Pam. Brianna, let's move to England, and we had a new experience. All this leads up to the power of symbolism. But in my training in the last 3 years, and before that, because before that, I did this ring. And this ring, I was inspired by Tony Robbins 12 years ago in Australia at one of his events. And he was talking a lot about, so what's the words that matter to you? The words that matter to me at that time that I needed to live into, I was very passionate. And I wanted to make sure I didn't forget how passionate I was on my down days. On my up days, I wanted even more. So the first word in this ring is passion. And my next word is because I was starting companies all over the place, little ones, big ones, restaurants, coffee roasting, fishing, publishing, retail stores, and wholesale business and home businesses. And I have a lot of experience in all this stuff, and not all of it worked. Why? Because I didn't have all of the support I really needed, and it's all about the team. So I focused, and then the last word was the courage to take action. So I've been wearing this ring for 12 years. It's kind of like my Superman ring. And I just use that, you got to have some fun with it. So I'm sitting, and I don't wear this all the time, but when I find it, I go, oh, yeah. I have like 5 of them with different stone assortments. It's got opal and black spinel and opal with sapphire, opal with ruby. So I have an energy that I use because when I want prosperity, I use a sapphire. And when I want warmth and love, I use the ruby. And when I want power, I use my spinel. So I wear this ring. Because it empowers me. I know these words are here. And I've been doing it so long that it's subtle in my gut. So in the morning when I put it on, there's this message I'm getting. Peter, put on your passion, your focus, and your courage to get through the day. So what I learned more was, and that would be in the next part. But I'm going to continue this Facebook Live because we're doing a live recording here on the camera. So I'm going to cut it and take a pause Now I'm going to continue because we're going to break that and make a video out of that. Live, I just want to share my experience because we're Facebook Live here, and this is recording a real part of our course here. So going on into the 3 words that matter was working with Tony Robbins. I went further. From Tony Robbins, I went to Frank Kern. Frank Kern connected me with this guy. Who is this guy at this Millionaire Messenger? Oh, Brendon Burchard. I wonder who he is. Next thing I know, I'm fully engaged with Brendon Burchard. And then I am more engaged with words that matter, such as live, love, and matter. Well, I've really got a collection of rings. Look for the launch. It's not just rings. I've got beautiful bracelets in fine sterling silver, precious metals, because your life is precious. Look for us on the launch on your Facebook, your Twitter, your thiser and thater. Watch your email, because if you are a certified high performance coach, you have some special rates. And if you're a mastermind in any group, you'll get some special rates. But I'm going to cut this a little bit short. I don't want to go into 4 or 5 hours here. So I'm just going to hang out and do some more videos, and we might pop in live. We got a special guest here live from Zurich, and she's right waiting at the door right now. And we're going to cut it short here. Keep your eye open, because we're going to have some fun here. Thanks, Peter Stone, checking out live in Zurich, Switzerland, launching this program on a full moon, full power at high performance. Thanks.
Okay, people, now it's time to shut it down, and we see you very soon.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Hey, Laura, Chad, Scott, David. We'll see you.